Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Wrestle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Callbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Corey Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wrestle Rock. I'm Rick Connor.
And I'm Corey Castle.
Mark.
It's Mark.
Mark.
So happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Yay.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Everybody doing exciting things, cooking out, having a few drinkies.
Soon.
No. Well, tomorrow's Memorial Day, so we're having a little outdoor barbecue at my cousin's house, which is actually right around the corner from you, Rick.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be in your hood.
All right, I'll wave from my window with my mask and gloves on.
Hi.
Yeah, weird holiday things going on. We lost St. Patrick's Day, we lost Easter, now we're losing Memorial Day.
I don't know if we're officially losing Memorial Day. There's a lot of areas that are like the beaches, and I just saw a video on the Ozarks. Like they're packed. So
Really?
There's some people just saying screw it. Like Texas is. I have a couple of friends that live in Texas. It's mob down there on the beaches. So it's just here. We're just locking ourselves away.
Okay, I'm not going to get into the political nature of all that crap, but it is what it is. You know, COVID. Shrug emoji, exactly. Let's get right into wrestling, shall we? Because there was a pay-per-view last night. There was we had a couple deaths in the wrestling world. We have a pregnancy. We have all kinds of stuff going on.
There was a pay-per-view last night?
AEW.
AEW.
Yeah,
I didn't even went right over my head.
I couldn't afford it, and I did not get a chance to acquire a copy yet, so I will be watching that soon.
Yeah, I just watch the highlights. I never buy the AEW pay-per-views. They're too expensive for me. But from what I'm hearing, it was a great show. From what I saw, I really liked it. It had some things that I didn't like, the same stuff that I always don't like with AEW. Whatever they're doing with the crowds, WWE needs to copy that, because it sounds like it doesn't sound like a packed house or anything like that, but it sounds much like that. It looks like they just have the front row of people like filled with wrestlers, but it sounds a lot more than that. So whatever they're doing, WWE needs to do that.
It definitely sounds better than watching these WWE matches where there's like absolute silence in the entire match.
It's just awkward to watch. Like, it's very awkward. Like, it just feels like you're in someone's private business. Like, it feels like you're spying on someone's private stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the weird thing is I've only noticed in WWE only two wrestlers know how to like handle this, and it's Daniel Bryan and AJ.
Yeah.
And I guess Shinsuke too, because they had their match, and they just made it a really stiff, hard-hitting match where it looked like they're beating each other up.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get into it because there's noise when they're hitting each other.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no crowd response. It's just weird. And then you listen to AEW show, and they have all the wrestlers out there who can stand next to each other because they're tested. Mm-hmm. And they're just yelling and screaming during the matches, which at least gives it some kind of participation. You know.
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of the wrestlers in AEW as well, they've been trained and programmed for so long to go to the crowd. They hit a big move and they're like, yeah, you still see that with some wrestlers. They're going to the crowd and there's no one there. With AEW, at least there's a couple people in the crowd. You know, they're wrestlers but they're sitting there and they're cheering along anyway. So at least they have that.
Well, not only that, you know, a lot of the WWE guys all come out of their stupid system, sort of programmed to, you know, do move, run up to the corner and cheer for me. And it's like, who's going to cheer for you?
Yeah, no one's cheering. So there's that. I did like that during the Double or Nothing last night. A lot of people
said Devil or Nothing.
The Devil
or Nothing.
That's a good idea for a pay-per-view. It's also a good idea for a band name if we ever get a band together.
Yes, let's get a band. Our band.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Brian Cage.
Yeah,
Brian Cage made his debut.
Yeah, looked like a beast. Look, I think he looked like a beast, man. And he's got Taz in his corner, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Taz's manager.
See, like I said, I will be acquiring pay-per-view probably later to review it. I've been hearing good things. I heard the Moxley Brody Lee match was actually good. Yeah. I heard the finish was really well done, where they made Brody Lee still look like a monster, even though Moxley won.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear who won. I guess Lance Archer won. I didn't hear who won the Cody.
No, Cody won.
Match. I was trying to look up results, and the only one I kept getting just results of the Moxley match. Nyla Rose lost to Shida, which I'm kind of happy about that because I just don't think Nyla's that great of a wrestler. She's got a good look. She's better than watching Nia Rose and Nia Jax, really.
Names are too similar.
I think she's better than Nia Jax, but I still think she's not good.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, I don't think she's bad. She doesn't really have anything that stands out to me. She's she could use a lot of work. They're using her as a monster right now, which is good, and it makes sense because she's big enough for that, but she doesn't really bring it to the table. That being said, the match itself was good. I really enjoyed it. I think I still, even though it's Nyla Rose, I think I would have kept the title on her a little bit longer, just because it seems really quick. Because she just won that at the last pay-per-view, right? Like a couple of months ago, or on Dynamite or something.
Well, I think they're still trying to get their footing when it comes to the women's division. They're still not sure where to go there. And the one thing they do well with Nyla Rose is they actually know her strengths and they play the matches to her strengths, which is usually like really big power moves and but it's just I think they still have to figure out what they're doing with the women's division. So the title at this moment really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Until they do that. I think they need to put the belt on Baker since she's the biggest thing they have, and then build the women around her.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. They had another women's match. The hell was it? Statlander and Penelope Ford. I didn't see this one. I don't know what happened, if it was just a really short match. They didn't include it in the highlights that I saw. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happened with that. We had Dustin Rhodes and Shawn Spears. That match happened. Shawn Spears was pretty much made to look like a fool. Got pantsed in the middle of the match, had Tully Blanchard's face on his underwear, right on his crotch, which was kind of funny. But it was like, man, you left being Ty Dillinger for this? Like, what happened? What happened to the Perfect 10? He hasn't been really doing.
It's not really enough. It's a pretty lateral move. If not down.
Yeah, I don't see it as a move up at all. It's definitely either lateral or steadily declining. I don't know if I don't know. I know he's boys with Cody, but apparently he's not getting booked well at all. So I don't know what that's about.
And the WWE, they weren't really using it.
It also would be like. And it was just because that 10 gimmick it got big to the point where it was people were annoying, like doing the 10 chants every time refs were counting, like doing outside the ring counts. They would just yell 10.
Yeah, it was
over and over again.
It was an organic movement that started at NXT and then made its way to the main roster. If it would have stayed just in NXT, it would have like held on to something special.
Right.
I think that was a big problem though. Is once it got big in NXT and it just got big, they snatched him up and put him on the main roster. And I think it needed time for that whole gimmick to develop and everything. And then they just used it for him to do this over and over again. And and then he just faded away like most NXT people to move up to the main roster. It's a shame. I like Sean. Yeah. He's really talented. So
another match I didn't see was the Best Friends and Private Party. Best Friends went over. This was on the pre-show. I didn't get a chance to watch that. I heard it was kind of sloppy, which kind of stinks.
All right. Well, I will. Like I said, I will acquire these matches, and I will let you know. It's getting harder and harder to acquire stuff nowadays. You know that, right?
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, all those sites are going away. All those sites are going away to Dodo. It's just easy to track all that stuff.
Yeah.
But from the main thing, I'm excited to see this Brian Cage Moxley thing. I think that's going to be really good. I guess Taz is going to talk for him.
I guess. That's pretty cool. I mean, Taz can talk, so that makes sense.
He's a great talker. So I don't know Brian Cage that well. I saw a couple of his matches in Lucha Underground. I didn't really follow his career in TNA, but I don't really follow anybody's career in TNA.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he really has I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
I think he does too much. Like it's like there's definitely quantity over quality for what I've seen in Brian Cage so far. What they do with him at this point, maybe he's going to change, but the stuff I saw in TNA, he was trying too many really big things, and most of them weren't good. A few of them were good, and it should have, you know what I mean? Like that, to me, it was like, choose what you're good at and do that. Don't try to do everything just because you can do it.
Right.
One thing is he's got a great look, so he looks like that throwback. He looks like that throwback, 80s, mid 90s wrestler, just giant, He
looked like he would be in the team of High Impact in WCW.
He's going to be on that.
Rage and Chaos.
I enjoyed the casino ladder match thing. It was a mix between Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble, where they had somebody come down every 2 minutes or whatever it was. It was enjoyable. I liked, again, Orange Cassidy did his little foot thing where he kicks people as light as he possibly can, because that makes sense somehow. But people like it. Whatever.
You're such a hater. You're such a hater.
No one has yet.
Orange Cassidy rules.
He's still over it. That's what's cool. He's just like, he has hands in his pocket and he's like, meh, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Meh.
Orange Cassidy rules.
How does he roll?
Just let it happen. Just let it wash over you, Rick. Just let it.
It's not going to wash over me at all.
He's just different. His comedic timing is fantastic, and he doesn't do anything for it. It's just he's doing a lot with little, and it's great. You don't see that often in wrestling anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's time to go, I mean, you've seen him wrestle Pac.
Yeah,
the guy can go.
Oh yeah.
So
he was in Chikara. He was one of the ants, the fire ant. I think he was. So I know it work.
He was J.C. Ryder in Jersey All Stars.
J.C. Ryder, yeah. Yeah.
Supposedly he's the top merch. He's the top merch seller right now in AEW.
Sunglasses, I guess. I don't know.
I think he has a shirt with just his face on it, with his hands in his pockets. I think that's the only shirt they have right now with him. But yeah, he's like the top merch seller in AEW.
Good for him.
I think AEW guys can sell their stuff on Pro Wrestling Tees too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's pretty.
So
cool.
They don't have to go exclusively through AEW shop to get their gear, like fans, as far as fans are concerned.
No, every time Jericho makes one little catchphrase, there's a T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees like 2 days later, and it's like the top selling shirt of the week.
Yeah. Jericho's amazing, dude. For some reason, the whatever it was, the Stadium Stampede match, he just picked up, he hit somebody with something, then he picked up one of those traffic cones and put it on his head and started cackling like a witch, and that was it. And it was one of the funniest damn things I've seen in weeks. I don't know what the hell. Just doing that. It was hilarious. Jericho,
did anyone make that a GIF for a meme yet?
They should.
I'm excited to actually watch that match. I heard the whole Matt Hardy switching personalities was really well done, especially when he went back to V1 Matt Hardy and then they had on the screen Matt Hardy can hold his breath for 4 minutes on the screen. And these are just the highlights that I heard. Sammy Guevara running away from the horse. And then them having the whole brawl in the bar with Adam Page.
Why was there a horse?
I'm excited to see it. Because why not?
Because why did Hangman Page come out on a horse?
Because he's a cowboy.
I didn't hate it at all. I just didn't. I was like, okay. And he starts chasing around Guevara. The thing in the bar I thought was pretty cool with him and Ryder, or whatever his name is now. I don't remember his name. Whatever his new name
is. JC Ryder, Orange Cassidy?
No. Friggin' the guy with the lisp. What's his name? In the Inner Circle?
Oh, Jack Swagger?
Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger.
Jake Hager?
Hager.
Where did Ryder come from?
Huh?
Where did Ryder?
Whatever, I don't know.
Oh, I think you said Ryder, like a Ryder truck.
I think I did, but I don't know. Hager, Hyder, Fager, whatever. I don't know his name.
Devil or nothing.
Just be Jack Swagger. Who cares?
Yeah, man, you got to think when they're putting the match together, and Hangman Page is like, "Look, I'm going to ride in on a horse." Everybody's like, "Yeah, why not?"
Brilliant! Yes, of course you're on a horse. Why wouldn't you be on a horse?
But how they made fun of XFL and they all ran to the 50-yard line and drop kicked each other, and there's a lot. I'm really excited to watch this match.
Yeah, it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. But yeah, I was a little weirded out that they rented out. I thought the whole thing was going to be in a stadium, the whole pay-per-view. It was weird that they rented out a stadium for one match. Yeah.
They don't have to rent the stadium. The guy owns it.
Oh, well, that's why. That makes sense.
It's Tony Khan. He owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense.
They
should have been running matches at the stadium this whole time.
Yeah, why not?
They should put the ring up in the stadium.
You could actually put fans in the stadium and just section them off, like so many per section. And you got the whole stadium, like, just section off with people and yelling. And then it'll probably give it, like, more of a, like I said, a way better crowd feel than anything WWE's doing right now.
Yeah.
And in Florida, wrestling's essential at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to Linda. Thanks to Linda and all her dealings. But yeah, man. So yeah, I think overall it was a pretty good show. I think Cody going over on Lance Archer was a mistake. They've been building Lance Archer up like a beast, and they just I mean, it was a good match, don't get me wrong, but it was, like, what are you doing? You just built this guy up and built him up and built him up just so the owner of the company can get a title.
Yeah, but I think that's to continue the MJF feud. I got a weird feeling MJF's going to take that belt from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo.
You don't like MJF either?
Yeah, he's played out, man. Every promo he does, it's the same stuff that I heard back in 2003 when everybody was trying to save the Attitude Era, and all his shticks, like hurting himself and I nicked myself shooting so he can't. Like, that's all been done before. It's all been done. He's not original at all.
It's a played out, really. It's too gimmicky. I don't know. It's silly.
Overdone.
I know.
It's overdone. It's like who was Eva Marie That wardrobe malfunction. I can't wrestle now. Like it's the same. Yeah. All of it is just it's all been done before.
Yeah. It has, but you got to understand too that AEW's crowd is way younger than WWE, and a lot of these kids didn't see that stuff. So like to them he's new and he's doing something different. So, and I don't know. I enjoy him. I don't know where he's going to go from now, like from here, besides his sitting outside the ring texting the whole time while everybody else is cheering and acting like they're actually into the matches. But I got a weird feeling what's going to happen is most likely him and Cody are going to continue their feud.
So is that all the coverage of the pay-per-view that I didn't see?
Yeah. I think we covered everything.
Okay, I want to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Did you see the Lufisto video?
No. What is that?
It didn't she went off on DJ Hyde and CCW selling the women's like the WSU footage to some like softcore porno site, and they're like it's put like the babes of CCW, all the asses, and like double D's. It's all just the wrestling matches, but it's being sold as it's like softcore porn. And now everyone's blown up and everyone's turned against CZW and DJ Hyde.
They should.
Well, didn't Sozio post something?
Yeah.
He was trashing DJ Hyde?
Yeah. Well, that was like from a shoot he did in 2015, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but he posted it recently. That's the first time I saw it. But it's absolutely true. Like, DJ is not should not be a promoter. Let's just put it at that. Definitely should not be around.
He never has the best interest of anyone else in mind except for himself.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Right. Isn't that a lot of promoters? He's just got a.
Yeah, this is to the point where it's creepy. Where he's given certain things to the women, to the students, to the wrestlers in CCW that he thinks that he can get something off of, either financially or sexually, and it's just it's weird. It's creepy and weird.
Do you remember we used to talk about how he'd get in the locker room after the matches and he'd just like get into his underwear and then just be hanging out in his underwear like forever. Well, everybody, here I am in my underwear. Like it was just weird.
It's like an old guy in the gym locker room that just took a shower and just decided to not wear a towel. He's that guy.
You have no idea. Like I try to make sure I just go straight into the gym, put my water bottle, work out, and leave because I don't like going into gym locker rooms with those dudes who just stand in the gym locker room naked and just have conversations all day. I can't stand that.
It's weird.
I was at the locker room in LA Fitness, and this guy walked out of the shower and he had a towel on, and he took his towel off and he stood on the scale.
Yeah.
I'm like, and stand there naked. I'm like, that towel doesn't weigh that much. You can keep it on.
You just got out of the shower. You're soaking wet. What do you think that towel's going to do? No, it's not the time.
I know. Take a half pound off for the towel.
Just factor that in.
Oh, my God.
The worst is the guys have one leg up on the bench but are naked.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a dude. There was like 4 dudes all sitting around. And they were all naked or partly naked. And the one dude stuck his leg up on the bench like this. And he was like, well, let me tell you a story about my first Corvette.
And they got the talcum powder guys that got to like slap around their junk with it where this dust cloud forms around them. Ugh. Yeah.
I had a couple buddies in the Army used to do that.
I mean, if it's refreshing, that's nice. Just keep it the hell away from me, please. Just do that stuff.
Yeah, so
I know. The funny thing is, like, going into, I was I was listening to Sozio and Ash both did Vito Tomaselli's podcast, and I was listening to that, and they were talking stuff about stupid DJ stuff, and I was thinking like of how it was like, you remember you and I, Rick, were at the CZW school for like a year or two before he ever showed up. Mm-hmm. And like, he struggled like crazy to do a foot bump for the first time. And we helped him with it for weeks. Mm-hmm. We were helping him for weeks with the foot bump. And then his very first match was against me and Jude. And we put him over clean. Mm-hmm. And he never thanked us.
No,
not once. But in calling the match, I was like, okay, and then I'll do something, work it up, blah blah blah. Then you give me a kitchen sink, and he was like, nah, I don't like the way you take flip bumps. You don't like the way I take flip bumps? You can't even take one.
The magic of DJ Hyde.
The arrogance, the ridiculous arrogance.
Mm-hmm. Should just get the guys on and tell stories about them then.
Yeah.
Do a show and have them all on, tell stories about them.
Yeah.
Why not, man? If it's finally coming out, how much of a piece of garbage he is.
There's footage that exists of him slapping me high five in the front row and chanting, Cory, Cory, Cory. That exists. And then he'll later act like I didn't exist. I haven't been on in years, but when I went last time I went on the CZW site in the like the roster and the
alumni.
What's that?
The alumni section.
The alumni section. I'm not in that at all. But I mean, there's moments. There's like shiny moments where he's good and he's nice.
Sure.
Like when you went down to the Dojo Wars and he like introduced you to everybody and said all those nice things about you. Yeah. He did that to me too. Like, but doesn't mean it's a blanket to be a shithead all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't erase years of him being an asshole. So yeah, stay away from CZW and DJ Hyde because apparently they're marketing their women's matches as softcore porn. Canceled.
So should we stay with negative news or go somewhere else with this?
Let's go as far away from it as we can.
There's not too much positivity going on. There's Becky Lynch is pregnant. I don't think we got a chance to talk about that yet.
That's not positive. Becky Lynch is pregnant.
That's the only positive thing that there is. Other than the fact that she had to give up the belt, which kind of sucked.
They did a little celebration on Raw for Asuka, right? They did.
Yeah, they did a celebration on Monday night, and Asuka and Kairi Sane were out there, and of course Nia Jax came out and basically later claimed the belt, and then they knocked her out of the ring, and then later on she jumped Kairi again. For some reason, she keeps going after Kairi first.
Rick, when you were out of the room, I was talking about that backstage segment they did where Asuka like just kicked her in her head and she fell down on like a real crappy whoops, like she fell onto like clearly it was a futon. It was definitely a futon, and she fell on it and she went
I think they're scared of her falling on anything that's not a ring or some form of mat, because she just doesn't know what she's doing and she's so injury prone on top of it. So if she's not causing injuries. So
why put her in there with Nia Jax? She's like the queen of injuring people.
That's what I mean. Like I'm saying, Nia Jax is not only is she injury prone, she hurts people. So
so put her in there with the champion.
I don't know. I don't see Nia winning the belt. I just see this as a match placeholder until they build up Shayna, and I think it's going to end up being Asuka versus Shayna.
I think I have a point to make, and this might also be the reason why Rick's never liked Nia Jax.
What's that?
Nia Jax is the DJ Hyde of women.
Yeah. Accurate. That's accurate.
Accurate.
That is an accurate statement.
I don't know, man. I just watch the way she moves and all, and I don't even think she's bounced back from the knee surgeries well either. She doesn't look like she's walking well. Or they need to have her cut her weight down because that'll help her with her knees. But like the last time I seen her walk into the ring, what was it, during the ladder match, during the Money in the Bank match? It looked like she could barely walk in the ring.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. She always kind of had it looked like she always kind of had a difficulty walking. I don't know if she has like a history of knee injuries or anything like that, but wasn't it double knee surgery this time?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Double knee surgeries, and this is not a knock on her, but you should seriously look into weight loss when you do surgeries like that, because it's not good to have a double knee surgery and put that much stress on your knees. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just hoping this is a placeholder and not Nia Jax winning the belt. I'm hoping that she just is the feud until they get to Shayna and Asuka. Because I guess they're going to turn Asuka and Kyrie faces now.
Yeah.
Now that Becky's gone, they don't have a real.
That was pretty.
They only have one face on.
What's that?
It's hard to tell what's
it looks like
what.
They only have one. I'm just saying, though, it looks like they only have one face now on Raw. They have Liv Morgan. Because Natalia's starting to do this weird temper tantrum thing, so they're already going to turn her bad. And then you have Nia, Shayna. Charlotte Flair is on every show, including AEW. She's like on everything. It's so annoying to see her face on every show.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that. She's the NXT Women's Champion, and then this Friday she gets a SmackDown Women's title shot, and for no reason whatsoever, she's getting a Raw Championship match on Monday.
Did you say including AEW?
Yeah, it's just like it just seems like she keeps popping up. If there's a show, she shows up on it, and then I gotta listen to her talk about being the queen.
She's gonna go over on. She's gonna go over on Brian Cage this upcoming Wednesday in AEW. Yeah, I think it's a little too soon to be taking Austin Theory and putting him in a different faction. He went from one heel faction to another. Are they splitting up the Selena Vega feud faction thing that they had going on?
Are they trying to put Orlando Cruz or Apollo Cruz, whatever his name is? Are they trying to put Apollo Cruz with them now? Is that what's happening?
Supposedly Apollo Cruz is supposed to turn heel and join one of the factions, but I don't know. I guess it's going to be Selena Vega's. I don't know, but did anybody notice how weird it was that they threw the only white guy out of the Spanish group and throw him in with the all-white group? Is that just me?
AOC's not white.
What's that?
AOP's not white.
Well, they're gone. What happened to them?
Did they get released?
I don't think so. I think they're just one of those. They're one of the There are a couple of the people that are deciding to stay home instead of going to work.
They're just writing more pain at home. They're authors.
I'll have a whole new book written for you.
Coming this fall from the authors of Authors of Pain.
I was watching. That's all I was doing last night, was watching cheesy, bad movies. I watched The Babysitter. What else did I watch last night? I was watching like Netflix only movies, which are never good.
Rick, did you see that I tweeted the highlight video? I tweeted the highlight video that you made of our watch along.
Oh, okay.
And Ian Knox responded to it. He replied, I just rewatched that movie a couple weeks ago. It was just funny, like one of our old pals.
Yeah. I just put up an Ian Knox match up on my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, you did. I saw that.
Yeah, the from the Wicked Hanuman show. The one with Test, yeah. Good old WWE's Test.
Really?
Yeah. He did
I'll have to look that up, man.
Yeah, there's I just posted all this week. I'm posting matches from that Wicked Hanuman show that we're always talking about that happened back in 2007, where Eric Tuttle broke both his legs and Matt Bomboy ripped out Corey's hair with trying to do a chop. Yeah, there's a lot of good things on that show.
And Rick's drunk commentary.
Let's not talk about that.
He had like a whole bottle of rum and was commentating a wrestling show.
What is wrong with you, man?
This was back when I was, it was like my late 20s, early 30s, and I was pissed off that, number one, I wasn't on the show. Number two, they had me doing play-by-play, which I'm awful at. And I kept on, like, I'll do color commentary. Do not put me on play-by-play. And they put me on play-by-play. And I was making an ass of myself, so I'm like, you know what? I got a bottle of rum in the trunk. Let's just go for it. Why not? And it turned out to be, like, pretty funny, I thought.
Dude, anyway. You saying "Sweet Sassy Molassie" was my favorite thing on commentary.
That's my catchphrase. So it's good. Sweet Sassy Molassie, knock the tar out of him. So that shows up in my YouTube.
I do believe Austin Theory will do better on Seth's crew.
What are they calling them now? Are they calling them anything?
No, I don't think they have a name.
I'm not sure.
It's got Degeneration Christ.
I don't think they have a name or anything.
D-Cross.
Somebody had some name that had something to do with Seth Rollins being the Monday Night Messiah, and it was something like, the crucifixion or something like that, or something along those lines.
Disciples?
The disciples, yeah, it was better than that.
Thank you.
The disciples have been used before. They had the disciples of Apocalypse and everything else. I mean, it was something different. It was something newer. It wasn't just like recycled crap. That wasn't an insult for you, Corey. Jeez.
No, I know. I'm kidding. What was the that's what the 12 men that were around Jesus were, right? The disciples.
They were apostles.
Apostles.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even do accolades.
No, you can't do acolytes either.
You can't do apostles?
Call them the zealots. Call them the zealots.
There you go.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I'm trying to figure out. There's not much to talk about WWE again this week. We had an NXT match where he broke up Rhea Ripley and Io again. So now Charlotte's got to wrestle both of them at the same time. AJ and Shinsuke was a good match.
I thought all of SmackDown was good. I really enjoyed SmackDown.
That was okay. I wasn't a big fan of the whole Otis storyline the way it was going. I still think they're going to end up stealing the money in the bank from him.
Yeah, that's probably sadly. But I thought Hardy versus Sheamus. I thought that was really good. I didn't like the finish again. I know we're stealing Simon Miller's gimmick, but with the surprise roll-ups, like, come on, WWE.
Speaking of that, Drake Maverick won with one.
Yeah. Drake Maverick, man. They're either just pushing him to finish out his contract, like the 90-day compete. They're just the compete clause. They're just having him work through that, or they're just
it's a work, dude.
Work, yeah. Like maybe the whole thing was a work, and it was just. I don't know, because his video of him crying, that looked pretty legitimate. I don't know how good of an actor he is.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the triple threat match with Drake Maverick next week. That should be good.
Yeah. I liked Bailey versus Flair, even though I didn't like that it was for the title. I thought it was a good champion versus champion match, Bailey and Flair. I enjoyed that match.
So is MVP managing Bobby Lashley now?
Yeah.
Or
kind of.
And then like, what's up with Lana? Is she not a part of it anymore?
I think they're trying to phase Lana out. I think she's going to leave now that Rusev's gone.
I'm totally fine.
So I don't know how much longer. I don't know how much longer she has on her contract, but I think they're just going to phase Lana out.
I don't know. She must hate money then, I guess.
Vince, listen, I know that I am not Russian anymore, but I just have to talk to you about how I hate money. And I would like you not to put me on your shows anymore because the money, it is too much, and I don't like the money. I liked it better when you were paying me with exposure. What was wrong with that?
So bad. So bad. Now they just have her scream. That's all they do.
Yeah. It's so annoying. She's another person. Her gimmick is just that she's annoying. She's Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah, but Vicky Guerrero was really good at it.
So what was the Dookie the diaper sock?
Sorry?
On the dirt sheet they had like little puppet thing.
Yeah.
And the one's name was Dookie the diaper sock.
Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
It was Miz and Morrison.
Yeah, it's I actually enjoyed that whole show, that whole dirt sheet segment. That
seemed
part
like fun.
That part was a little rough with the puppets, but I really enjoyed John Morrison. Kept cutting off the Miz. What did he say about Becky Lynch? He was talking about bad ideas. And it's like, yeah, man, it's a worse idea than getting pregnant with Seth Rollins' kid. And Miz is like, dude. Like, what? I'm just saying.
I just like how he said how all 8 of his abs are like now like social media influencers. That was great. I don't know why, but they're making him sound like he's a complete moron now. It's hysterical.
I love it. And then he challenged Braun Strowman for Miz, which I thought was really funny. He got up in Strowman's face and he's like, you wouldn't beat Miz in one-on-one and blah, blah, blah. And Miz is like, dude, can we not? Could you just... And then Strowman's like, is that a challenge? And Miz is like, no, it's not. He's like, challenge accepted. He's like, damn it! Like, he got suckered into the match with Strowman. I thought that was hilarious.
I enjoyed him. I mean, I enjoyed SmackDown. But I just, like I said, man, it's hard with no crowd. It's just so hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's hard watching 3, 5, almost 8 hours worth of wrestling a week with no crowd, you know. And then there was a pay-per-view this week, so
yeah. But I mean, you had like AJ versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought was a great match, and I didn't even notice that there wasn't a crowd because I enjoyed the match.
But they wrestled a style that fit. They were just beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
Like, I think the matches need to be more in that vein instead of trying to be like the typical WWE like show. Like, I don't know, they just have a different style that doesn't work well without a crowd.
Yeah, I agree. I do miss the crowds. It's something we have to kind of deal with right now. Unless I don't know why they wouldn't adapt that style that AEW is doing. Unless it's just one of those things where it wasn't Vince's idea, so it doesn't exist.
Well, it could be that. It could be like he doesn't want to look like they're imitating them.
Can we shine a little bit more light on why Sami Zayn's not the Intercontinental Champion anymore?
Shoulders. I think he's having issues with his shoulders again.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. I just heard it was one of those things where he wanted to stay home, and it was a COVID thing. He didn't want to risk getting that thing, getting that whole. Just one of those guys that are staying home. A lot of the people are staying home. I just thought it was one of those things. Where did you hear about his shoulders?
I don't know. I saw a clip not a clip online, but like a picture online, and he said the reason why, and I didn't get a chance to read it, but they showed him with ice bags on his shoulders again. But I don't know if that was from his other surgery. Covered the camera.
Could have been an old out of context photo.
Could have been. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. I hope not. I hope he's okay. I'm enjoying the tournament so far.
Oh, I'm enjoying the tournament. I still think AJ's winning.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't like how they explain that. Like AJ was just traded to SmackDown with like no fanfare, no nothing.
It was so matter of fact. It was just like, AJ Styles is on SmackDown too. He's been traded for other wrestlers. You'll find out about that later.
It doesn't matter. Like, so many people are getting let go, and like none of that traded, like none of the like, oh, roster specific, none of that matters at all. Yeah,
but it should. It should matter. They did a brand split. They made a whole big thing about how Raw is Raw and SmackDown.
But during the quarantine and the COVID, like that part should be like, we're going to get the wrestlers that we get and we're going to show them to you because we had to let people go and other people don't want to be here.
I agree. I don't know. What do you want to call this? The COVID era?
Yeah, you know what? They should like, they don't even call it out. They don't even say like, well, this is why it's this way. Like the commentator should be saying like, wow, this is a historic time. For sure it is. They keep calling everything else history. And for the first time ever this, and for the first time ever that, this is a historic time and they're not mentioning.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know why they're not doing it. It's one of those things where Vince makes up his mind about something. Hey, we're not going to mention Roman Reigns ever again until he's back.
Right.
You know? Well, what the hell's going on? Nobody seems to know.
He who shall not be named.
I don't understand that either. I mean, it's all about his health, so I haven't really looked into it. I don't want to. I said, I mean, the one problem I've been having the last few weeks is I've been watching all these Dark Side of the Rings, and it really makes me not want to watch WWE because of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the Owen Hart one was really heavy-handed, and WWE sucks. They were really hammering home the pretty much flat out accusing them of negligence and like wrongful death and all that other stuff. Flat out saying it. Like it's WWE's fault, but that Owen Hart's head.
It was just, that was a rough watch. That was supposedly the highest rated one.
Yeah.
It actually beat Benoit's for the highest ratings.
Off the record, and I'm not going to name any names, but I've heard other people who are associated with the Hearts who think that, like, flat out, they are responsible. Like, oh, you think Bret Hart is just going to punch Vince McMahon in the face and he's not going to do anything about it? Like, that's like the mindset, I think, that some of the Hearts have.
But who's not going to do anything about it? McMahon? You think that, like, this was Vince's retaliation to Bret punching
like face? Owen got killed because of Bret punching Vince McMahon in his face.
Jesus. That's a side that I didn't even think of or want to think of. Damn. That's dark as hell.
Or never want to think about, ever?
That's really
the crazy thing was,
never want to think about ever again.
Oh.
The crazy thing was hearing his contract and acting like how big of money it was.
Yeah.
Compared to like, it was $400,000 a year.
That's insane.
He was doing that for $400,000 a year.
Damn.
It was a lot, dude. That was a lot of rough things, man. Finally seeing the actual rig made me laugh. Like how ridiculous they actually thought that thing would work. Seeing Cornette cry was kind of rough.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a kind of a bittersweet thing. It's cool because he's getting some exposure, but seeing Droz again on the Dark Side of the Ring stuff has been kind of cool. Like, it's cool to see him again. Like, he's been disappeared for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, and you said he's happy, so like as long as he's okay with everything. But
that's one I'm surprised they haven't done.
Well,
they draws. They did.
Yeah.
They put it in tough man or the kind of
Brawl for All
into the Brawl for All one.
Brawl for All.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was. I think that's enough for its own thing, don't you?
I don't know.
I don't think the footage exists. I don't think there's any like wrongfulness to it. Like they kind of were like, D'Lo was like, yeah, I mean, whoops, and we cried, and it's what it is. Like, and Droz is like, yeah, I'm not mad about it.
That's definitely the one I enjoyed the most. Like, that wasn't like a downer. Was the Brawl for All. I actually enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah. I got to go back and watch that one.
It's just really forgetting that whole event and then seeing what went down. It was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then just seeing the ridiculousness of the mind of Vince Russo, like how insane that man is, and how he believes he's right no matter what he does.
It was all for somebody humbling JBL.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of people to swear to this day that like that's a lie. Like he just made that up just to make up an excuse why he had JBL or like why he even did the Brawl for All in the first place. But I don't know. I enjoyed him. Owen Hart was rough. I just watched the UWF one last night. That one's nuts.
I was bored with it, really.
Dude jumping out of windows because he he can't even pay hookers, and like it was just, that one was just a mess.
Yeah, wrestling business, man, it sucks.
I know, dude. Dark Side of the Ring is kind of rough to watch wrestling after you watch those things.
Yeah. I mean, like, we've had, me and Corey have had enough experience within our own lives, and it hasn't even been that bad, but, compared to everything else.
Yeah.
No, like, it's crazy. Like, we were just talking about DJ Hyde and how much of a piece of garbage he, So, don't get involved in wrestling, kids. That's our takeaway.
Dude, it was funny because, like, Lufisto was, like, in her little video. She was like, "Oh, the John Zandig days are clearly over," and I was like, "Well, those were good for you, I guess. Weren't so good to me, though."
No. Or there's a couple people that they weren't very good for.
Right.
I'm just gonna warn you guys, if I drop off, my phone is slowly dying on me. So.
All right. Well, we're about to wrap up anyway. I think we're at that point where we're gonna shine that spotlight on one individual or one group of people who absolutely deserve it this week, and we're doing it with a segment called Who Wins Wrestling? Who Wins Wrestling? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to jump in with mine this week because I think it should be everybody's this week, and that's Shad Gaspar. The former Crime Time member passed away earlier this week. Basically saving his kid out in the middle of the ocean. Riptide came along, pulled his kid out. He jumped in to save his kid, gave his kid to the lifeguard, said, "Please get my son to safety," and then he drowned. He drowned saving his own son. I don't think there's any other bigger sacrifice that that you could possibly make. So, Chad's my pick.
It's a shame. I hear a lot of good things about him.
He was only 39. 39, yeah. It was rough.
I watched this week the video of him and MVP watching Kofi win the championship at Mania and crying and stuff. It was a good moment.
Yeah, and everybody says
see that.
Stuff like that with him saving his son, and like people say he was just like the most selfless person that's ever been around that anybody's ever known. Like he just does stuff like that.
I saw a post from Emil Hirsch, the actor Emil Hirsch, and he was talking about how Shad was like the guy who gave him all the fatherly advice when he found out he was going to be a dad for the first time. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that he had that reach where Emil Hirsch, the guy from Girl Next Door, was friends with Shad Gaspard.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Shad Gaspard was a bodyguard for a lot of famous people, so.
Oh, really?
He's probably got connections. He's Britney Spears and a couple other people. So.
That's pretty cool.
Big mofo, that guy.
Big mofo, yeah. And if you want to see him, check out the WWE Network when he got to beat up Nick Burke. That's fun.
Yeah, I gotta look that up, man. I gotta look up the text you sent me with the date. I gotta look up that match.
Yeah, that was a spoof on the Michael Richards Kramer incident from the Laugh Factory when that viral video went out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
So Nick has told the story on here, and he has told it on my podcast too, where he talks about like Vince McMahon was in the room with him, like making him say the N-word, and Stephanie was like, "Yeah, go ahead." Like,
that's horrible.
God, man, I can't even imagine. But Nick always tells that. Well, he's told that story before. He just posted it on his Facebook about how Shad Gaspard came out and like calmed him down. It was like, because Nick was obviously freaking out. He had to say the N-word on live TV, and not to mention in front of two black guys. Well, of course he was panicking, and he didn't want to. He was upset that he thought he was obviously going to come off as a racist, and Shad talked him down, talked him into it, and was like really comforting and saying like, listen, it's just business, it's just entertainment. So
Nick told the story on my podcast, like when he had to just do like real hacky, stupid jokes and like start getting heckled. And he was like, wrecked him, damn near killed him.
Yeah. That's how the segment starts. Yeah. Does anybody else have a Who Wins Wrestling? Did you guys
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory?
I'm going with Austin Theory. This kid is going from Evolve to NXT to Raw to now being in the top stable in WWE within a matter of 3 months.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the kid is 22 years old and super talented. He's going somewhere. So they need to get a personality on him. I don't think he's a great talker, but
he's very robotic.
But if they can just have Seth talk and just But I'm definitely going with Austin Theory. I think that was Drake Maverick would be my second, but I think that was a bigger deal.
Corey, how about you?
I'm gonna say Dookie the diaper sock.
I enjoyed that whole segment, man. I can't fault you on that. Oh man,
let's go home. I want to eat hot dogs and potato salad and stuff.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Check out, I'm going to run through my plugs real quick. Check out my YouTube channel, tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor. See all those matches that we were talking about earlier. Check out my other podcast to do with Mark's sister, Karen. You can see it. You can go to the website, Starbug42. That's STARBUG 42 .podbean.com. And you can become a patron there and actually help us out. You can check out our Teespring shop. It's where you can find our merchandise, teespring.com/stores/rassle-rock. Everything on there is connected to a different charity. Anybody else got anything else?
Yeah, check me out on the Roast Ghost podcast. Roast Ghost podcast. I did an episode of Eli Sayers' Roast Ghost podcast where Eli, Zach Amico, and I roasted Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it was a fun time. And this most recent episode, I had Dan Soder on, and they
Really
roasted
Nice.
Randy Savage.
Mm.
It was
Dan
good.
Soder does an amazing Randy Savage.
Yeah. And check out also on Toxic Radio, Shock Culture Now with Josh Colon and Angelo Johns, Mr. Entertainment. I just did an episode of their show yesterday. And check out Evolving with Corey Castle. I just had on Todd Glass for the second time. That's on my YouTube channel. It's not yet on the iTunes or anything yet, but it's everything's scheduled to come out on iTunes and everything up until the end of the summer.
Very cool.
Nice.
And if you like it, share it and subscribe, because I want to know you exist. I want to know that ears are hearing the messages that are coming out.
All right. Happy Memorial Day. Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Hot diggity dog.
That about do it for this episode of Wrestle Rock. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Rick Connor.
I'm Corey Castle.
Mark Hobbacher.
Until next week, keep watching wrestling.